Valaclava is a cyber-physical stockless gameware brand, bringing the narratives of gaming world to real life via premium limited clothing. Established through a process of blockchain technology and made-to-order study, Valaclava examines the codes and language of modern luxury gameware through the lens of innovation, community, globalization, and social environmental responsibility. Valaclava uses cyber-physical technology that link NFT to tags on the physical garments that work as proof of ownership and protect authenticity of goods across markets. Garment owners will be the NFT holders of the garment, owning not only the physical garment but also its digital data, ID, and visual assets.
Well, to start with that, it's important to understand and for us to know that Valaclava has been born in the digital space. It was created as a digital brand, so it was fairly easy for us to imagine a universe where we can use digital tools and mold them within the production development process to create new designs that come as digital first. So in the creative side of things, this is something that frees up a lot of space, for a lot of mind space for us to not be concerned with certain boundaries that you would otherwise as a designer try to understand prior to drafting the designs, to creating the first sketches, then to going into the construction board, so to say, to create the patterns themselves. And by using the digital tools that we do, this is something that we compile in one single act of designing and engineering the pieces all together. So I think that's one of the main things that can be deemed super helpful when you start working on a digital level, when you can simply trust the tools that you use and really unleash the creative side of things without having to concern yourself with physical boundaries just yet.
Mm-hmm. And since we always start from a 3D point of view, that informs both the physical production of the garment as well as all the potential digital assets that can come out of it. So we're immediately establishing the bridge between the two worlds.
Say that the process of development, and in our current conversation, that the use of 3D as the beginning of the development has always been somewhat relevant to the industry, because it's always been a problem, especially in the latest years. It's become something of some sort of an urgency to solving that problem within a multitude of factors of how can we create a symbiosis of what we know works, what we know doesn't work, and finding the right solutions to that. So in that case, using the native digital creation process, as we already said, solves a multitude of issues of just connecting all the sides of creating one garment and then or a full collection, and then using these assets for both the production side of things, also for the marketing side of things. That saves a lot of resources, a lot of physical resources, a lot of financial resources in the development process. It also keeps us from producing multiple prototypes that then later don't work really in the benefit of just keeping the production costs and keeping the cost of creating excess in general.
Yeah, I strongly believe that the future of the industry is digital, not only because the consumer experience is changing. They're they're not passive anymore. They're co-creators. They're also becoming a part of the process itself. And if we look at the main challenges or pain points in the fashion industry related to the overproduction of all the classical and traditional fashion business model, so the phygital brands projects help on both this sides of the spectrum. So it can either help turn the industry into a more sustainable business model, and can also look at the new trends and the new horizontality of creative industries like fashion.
Synergy between the two. We bring a lot of baggage from the textile and fashion industry, and we draw from that experience to make any garment we're designing optimal for production. And on the other side of that coin, 3D gives us a lot of options to explore that wouldn't be like readily available to us. Everything is a few clicks away from a finished digital garment that can become a carbon copy in real life. And the endless possibilities of 3D, although not all translatable to the physical reality, spark a lot of creativity.
Great. It's also important to mention here that when we speak about design practices, it's something that we strongly believe is also part of the future of the industry, and is core for our brand itself, is the made-to-order process, which in which we tend to use these digital tools and practices to both be able to offer the people who are clients, essentially, to Valaclava, a means to customize their garments in ways, and we also be in the same time being able to cater this production based on a made-to-order basis without anything extra added, any overproduction or any overpricing of the the chosen design.
So once we created this entire project and brand, believing the future is phygital because of all we've been talking about, the possibilities, the access to projects, collaborations, co-collaborations, the changing of the shifting of the business model, what we ultimately want to achieve with Valaclava is an awareness of the new molds of the fashion industries, to educate the market, to educate every stakeholder within the fashion industry, and help revolutionize the industry and make it become more phygital, more digital based, more sustainable, and more democratized somehow.
And this is a very hard task, since most participants in this industry are hard-coded with practices of fast consumption. This will be our biggest challenge, to change that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. And in general, just helping and using the means of fashion design, as it always used to be, and it always has been, about narrative. So here, changing the narrative, and maybe writing a new perspective and sharing it with all stakeholders is something that we view as, again, revolutionizing, but also going back to the roots of the fashion as a design and an art form.